Right now on Good Morning America First Look, breaking overnight. The pilot of a small plane is confirmed dead after striking a state police helicopter in midair above a Pennsylvania airport. The latest on the condition of the two troopers who were on board that chopper.
Another round of severe storms slams the Midwest, where communities are still reeling from last week's deadly flooding as the South braces for brutal heat.
America's national debt hits a staggering milestone, and the effects it's having on Americans' wallets.
Prince Harry and Meghan are reportedly planning a move back to Britain. And this morning, we're learning how soon it could all happen.
Plus, a state trooper's split-second rescue, pulling 4 siblings from a burning car.
Robin Williams' children take a stand against what they call AI abuse of their father's legacy.
And the Army's unusual new re-enlistment perk involving an upcoming Grand Theft Auto video game.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sophie Flay.
And I'm Faith Abube in for Hannah. And we begin this morning with a deadly crash at an airport in central Pennsylvania. Investigators are headed to the scene after a small plane collided with a police chopper, killing the pilot and injuring 2 state troopers.
It happened last night during a training exercise at an airport with no air traffic control tower. And it comes on the heels of another fatal disaster involving Americans in Kenya.
This morning, an investigation is underway into a deadly mid-air collision at a Pennsylvania airport between a small plane and a state police helicopter.
Carlisle Airport, possibly Trooper 3 involved, struck a plane.
In Carlisle, Pennsylvania, the collision killed the plane's pilot during a state police training exercise. Investigators say the helicopter was hovering just feet off the ground when a Cessna coming in to land veered sharply and struck it from behind. The helicopter lost its blades and tail, rolled over, and crashed onto its side. Inside, 2 troopers, initially trapped. One pushed out a window and pulled his bleeding partner to safety. A neighbor mowing grass next door ran to help.
Probably 5 seconds after I turned my back, I heard a huge crash. And as I was just getting on the other side of the runway, the 2 pilots of the helicopter were coming out. They were pulling themselves out.
Both troopers are expected to be okay.
Tonight could have been much worse.
It comes after another deadly crash half a world away in Kenya, where a safari helicopter went down and burst into flames, killing all 7 on board, including 5 Americans. Among the dead, Telemundo executive Jose Suarez and Miami businessman Roger Duarte, a husband and father of 2.
The NTSB is headed to the Pennsylvania crash site and will examine radio traffic at the towerless airport.
And now to the severe weather slamming the Midwest again, just days after storms and catastrophic flooding killed at least 7 people in Indiana.
Overnight, another round of severe weather slamming the Midwest only a week after deadly storms ripped through the region. In Morton, Illinois, heavy rain turning streets into rivers, leaving drivers stranded. This parking lot inundated with water. A similar scene unfolding in Ohio, west of Columbus, where first responders have been rescuing drivers who were stuck trying to cross flooded roads. And in Muncie, Indiana, a reported tornado touching down. Communities there are still cleaning up from last week's storms that killed 7 people and triggered catastrophic flooding. Now, more heavy rain threatening to make matters worse. More than 70,000 customers in the state were still without power overnight.
They're losing food. Homes are getting warmer. They're worried about loved ones and had to make hard choices to get through the day.
Officials say it could take until next week for power to be restored. The storms moving east today expected to bring heavy rain and possible flash flooding from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York. In the south, a different weather threat, extreme heat. Scorching temperatures and high humidity, making it feel like well over 100 degrees from Texas to the Carolinas. And the heat now turning deadly. 2 children died in separate hot car incidents in Texas and in Utah. Meanwhile, Hawaii is still cleaning up after Hurricane Lala's remnants pummeled the state. Its winds strong enough to send these waterfalls in reverse. Now, another potential tropical system taking shape near the islands. Downpours could trigger mudslides and flash flooding in already saturated areas.
And the exact path of the system is currently unknown. Hawaii, though, could see storm impact as early as Saturday.
Sources say the Drug Enforcement Agency is now joining the investigation into the death of actress Hayden Panettiere. This latest development comes after police in Greenville, South Carolina revealed that Panettiere's boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, and his brother were with her when she died and called 911. Police say there are no signs of foul play, but it could take weeks to learn the cause of death.
An urgent manhunt is underway near Boston for a woman police describe as a dangerous fugitive. Karen Solomon, who's a therapist and mental health advocate for law enforcement, is suspected in the death of her police officer husband. Fellow officers found Kurt Solomon dead in his home and his wife gone. Investigators have not released any details about the death just yet, but they do say Karen Solomon is considered armed and dangerous.
President Trump has declared what he calls an economic D-Day against Iran. ABC's Karen Hua has those details. Karen, good morning.
Sophie, good morning. The president says he's about to crush Iran's economy, but has yet to offer any details. This comes as the U.S. reaches a grim economic milestone. Overnight, President Trump applying more economic pressure on Iran. Trump announcing the most crushing economic operation ever taken, an economic D-Day, warning any country supporting Iran's economy faces tremendous economic consequences.
We have very draconian sanctions, and we'll see what happens.
It comes as a recent poll shows Trump's approval rating has sunk to 33%, the lowest of his presidency. Much of that disapproval centers on the economy, where a staggering new number just landed. The national debt is now passing $40 trillion, double what it was a decade ago. Experts point to three big drivers: tax cuts, pandemic spending, and the rising cost of Social Security and Medicare as the country ages. Now, the debt is feeding itself. Washington spends nearly $3 billion a day on interest alone, and all that government borrowing pushes up rates for everyone else.
Your mortgage rate goes up, your car loan goes up, your credit card bills go up.
Budget watchdogs say the debt can be fixed with more revenue and slower spending over many years.
Nice job, fellas.
Meanwhile, at the White House, the president played tour guide, showing off his costly construction projects for nearly 40 minutes. Among them, a new helipad for Marine One.
They can have events on it. They can have people go there for cocktails and then walk to the ballroom.
The Washington Post puts the total tab at more than $900 million. It's unclear how much will ultimately fall on taxpayers. In this morning, the fate of the ballroom is in the hands of the Supreme Court. A lower court order halting most above-ground work takes effect tomorrow, unless the justices step in. Sophie?
We'll have to wait and see. Karen, thank you. There are new details about the alleged cocaine trafficking operation at Penn State. Court records show one of the accused ringleaders, Thomas Robinson, accepted payments for the drugs through Venmo using his own name. Investigators say when he was arrested, he thought it was a fraternity prank. He's among 14 people charged, including current and former students. Officials say pledges cut the packaged cocaine in 2 off-campus frat houses.
NASA has scrapped plans to save the sinking Swift Space Observatory. NASA paid a startup $30 million to send a rescue spacecraft designed to grab the telescope and tow it to a higher orbit. But the rescue craft began spinning out of control soon after launch, and engineers couldn't fix it fully. That means the telescope will make a flaming plunge back through the atmosphere, likely later on this year. The Swift spent more than 20 years tracking some of the biggest explosions in the universe.
Time now for your morning weather.
Good morning. We've been tracking severe storms overnight from southern Missouri into western parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Those will weaken, but that piece of energy reaches the East Coast by later on today, and that means up and down the I-95 corridor, including Washington, D.C., Philly, all the way up to New York City. Could be a very wet evening commute with some flash flooding a possibility and even some strong gusty thunderstorms with a level 2 out of 5 severe risk from Philly down to D.C. The heat, the other big story over the southeast, just a searing heat wave, heat indices above 110 in some cases. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
Coming up, the major move for Harry and Meghan.
Also ahead, a state trooper in the right place at the right time. The dramatic highway rescue caught on camera.
And an Amazon customer's first drone delivery doesn't go quite as planned.
We are back with these images of bravery in action. A Kentucky state trooper climbed through the windshield of a burning SUV and rescued 4 members of one family trapped inside. Investigators say a big rig forced them off the road, and that's when they rolled over several times. And then the car, it caught fire. Thankfully, they only suffered minor injuries.
And now to a wild chase through Los Angeles. Police in hot pursuit of a man on a dirt bike, dangerously weaving through traffic. At one point, the man is seen there using his cell phone, and then he even tries to stop to get gas, but then he pulls off with the hose still attached to the bike. He rode through a park where someone apparently left him a jug of gasoline, but you see, he couldn't fill it fast enough. He was arrested after he fell off that bike.
Oh, truly stunning video there. And something else that is stunning, a royal reversal 6 years after leaving the UK. Harry and Meghan are reportedly moving home. Here's ABC's Lina Moise.
This morning, the major royal headline, Harry and Meg coming home. 6 years after moving to California, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are moving back to the UK within days and will be enrolling their children Archie and Lilibet in school there.
Harry and Meghan aren't just visiting Britain anymore, they're establishing roots and rebuilding part of their family life there.
Safety in the UK has been a concern for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, with their protection downgraded after stepping down from royal duties. And Harry has long said he believes paparazzi chasing his mother, Princess Diana, was a major factor in the 1997 crash that killed her.
For years, Harry has said the biggest obstacle in his way of bringing his family back to the UK is security, and that he maintained he didn't feel safe to bring them back there.
There is no official statement from Buckingham Palace, but a source familiar tells ABC News the king first heard of the plan Sunday and welcomes seeing them more following the Sussex family's private visit this summer, something Harry has said he's wanted.
There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. As I said, life is precious. I don't know how much longer my father has,
The move comes as the palace has been candid about the king's cancer diagnosis. King Charles gave an emotional update in December.
Thanks to early diagnosis, effective intervention, and adherence to doctors' orders, my own schedule of cancer treatment can be reduced in the new year.
As for Harry, this new return home is not expected to change his standing.
Are they going to remain as non-working royals?
King Charles has been clear that there will be no change to Harry and Meghan's status as non-working royal family members. They're coming in a private capacity.
There is definitely a lot of excitement about their return to the UK, but a big question with the move is whether the UK government will change its stance on security for the Duke and Duchess. Right now, they are only entitled to police protection on a case-by-case basis. Sophie, Faith?
A big question, Lionel. Thank you. Coming up, Robin Williams' children are fighting back against what they call AI abuse of their father's legacy.
And also ahead, bear encounters are surging on the West Coast. Experts weigh in on why.
You do an eclectic celebration of the dance. You do Fosse, Fosse, Fosse. You do Martha Graham, Martha Graham, Martha Graham. Or Twyla, Twyla, Twyla. Or Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd. Or Madonna, Madonna, Madonna. But you keep it all inside.
And that, of course, is the late, great Robin Williams in Birdcage. One of the clips his children want his fans to enjoy, but they're speaking out against some AI videos involving their father's likeness. You see it right there. They say the technology is being used to exploit their father's memory and his legacy. His daughter Zelda has begged fans to stop sending her the videos, writing last fall that it's not what he would want. And now his kids have revived his Instagram account 12 years after his death, promising to share his authentic moments with, quote, warmth and care.
Next, some disturbing images of a Southern California mail carrier attacking a beloved neighborhood peacock. Witnesses say he repeatedly went after the bird with a stick, landing a blow to its head. The peacock was so badly hurt, it wasn't able to stand up. The bird is now being treated by vets, and the Postal Service has launched an investigation into what happened.
And now to the surge in bear encounters out west, where hungry bears are turning up in homes, in cars, and even hotel lobbies. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujihi.
On the West Coast, bear encounters are on the rise, and nowhere more than Colorado.
There is going to be an abnormal amount of bear activity around humans this fall. that people need to be aware of.
Just this week, wildlife officials reported 3 attacks in just days. A woman struck in the face by a bear that came through her sliding glass door, a man bitten on the head while sleeping in an Aspen park, and a man swiped at outside his apartment laundry room. All 3 are recovering. And earlier this month, a bear attempting to get to the hotel snack bar in Breckenridge, Colorado, coaxed out by police. Colorado Parks and Wildlife say they've had a nearly 70% increase in bear reports so far this year, and a nearly 60% spike of bears causing property damage. One bear caused quite a mess in this person's car after police believe it was trying to get at food left inside. Experts say this year's dry winter has left bears hungry and on the hunt.
There's not a lot of natural food out there for the bears. When there's less natural food for the bears, they have to move more. They're way more likely to search out those food sources in years when there's not enough natural food, which is exactly what we're seeing this year.
Experts say attacks are still rare, but warn to keep food and trash locked up.
Experts say if you do encounter a bear, make lots of noise to try and scare it away. And bear spray is always a good option. Sophie, Faith.
Yes, it is, Andrea. Thanks. Coming up, the Army's unusual new reenlistment offer, time off to play a video game.
And also coming up, the custom Ferrari that's turning heads on a Los Angeles highway. Take a look.
Time to check the pulse. We begin with a new incentive to keep U.S. troops from leaving the fold.
Yeah, one Army unit is turning to video games. Some soldiers at Fort Stewart in Georgia are being offered a 4-day pass off of work to play Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, the catch is they have to re-enlist.
The soldiers have until mid-November to re-up just before the game is released. Officials say 20 soldiers have already accepted the offer.
Anyone spending time around Hollywood or Beverly Hills gets used to seeing plenty of fancy cars, fur coats, for example.
Yeah, but this was a first. It was a fancy car, a Ferrari, wearing a fur coat. Not the driver, but the car itself. The woman who shot this video dubbing it a Ferrari. Next, an Amazon drone delivery that missed its mark.
Yeah, it was a Texas customer's first time using the service, so she recorded it. And first, she heard the loud buzzing noise. Then, yeah, right there, the sound of a plop. Her package dropped straight into her pool. No word yet on what was in the package. And finally, an escape in West Hollywood.
It is an 11-week-old piglet that was on the run last weekend. Eventually, Wilbur, as he's now known, was caught. But if the mystery owner doesn't come forward this morning, Wilbur will go up for adoption. Checking more top stories. A pilot was killed and 2 Pennsylvania state troopers were injured when a small plane collided with a police helicopter at an airport near Harrisburg. Officials say the plane was landing when it veered into the chopper, which was involved in a training exercise.
And more heavy storms slamming the Midwest this morning, bringing heavy rain, powerful winds, and even a tornado. The severe weather hits just 1 week after the last deadly onslaught. The storms are moving east today from D.C. to Philadelphia and on to New York.
The FDA has upgraded its recall of some frozen blueberries and mixed berries over potential E. coli contamination. They're sold under the brand Greenwise at Publix grocery stores in 8 states. It's now a Class 1 recall associated with the highest health risk.
And today's weather, thunderstorms in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic and scorching temperatures in the South, 101 in Houston.
And finally, we know what happens to fantasy football winners, but what about the losers?
Well, our Danny New digs some digging.
Why is Chicago's John Lesky here dressed up as Eric Carl's The Very Hungry Caterpillar? Because once again, before the start of the NFL season, fantasy football players are finally serving their punishments for coming in last place last year.
I was actually kind of impressed by the end of it. I'm like, I would have tapped out really fast.
Overall, you're proud of your husband.
I was pretty impressed.
There are millions of fantasy football leagues around the world, and the quest to generate the most unique last-place punishment has become a bit of an annual internet tradition. In John's case, his league is mostly friends and family, so he made sure to at least FaceTime with his league mates' children, including his nephew.
And they were like, they haven't sat still for that long in like a month.
Playing Michael Brook today, no ball.
Meanwhile, in Canada, Connor Merritt here is in a league with all of his old hockey buddies. And his punishment was to go golfing without a ball and not tell anyone he joined why he didn't have one.
I go put my tee in the ground with no ball on it and swing.
And I turn back, I go, that was a good one. And then he looks at me dead serious and goes, how do you know?
There's also a chance you could be locked in a closet and have to do a 1,000-piece baked bean puzzle. Or you might have to be like Ty in South Florida here, who had to compete in a bodybuilding competition.
I had no idea what I was doing. I was just hitting poses that I kind of saw them do.
In the case of Ty and his buddy Tommy, they have been in this league together since high school. So in preparation, Ty shaved his body hair, got a spray tan, and over the course of many months, even lost 30 pounds. But why did he go through so much effort?
That's what makes fantasy football.
And guys, Ty says that bodybuilding video has led to two things at his work. One, his boss giving him a raise for showing strong character. And two, his boss making a life-size cutout of Ty to hang in the office.
Great day, everyone.